Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing today? A little bit of a funny story. Poof was up here and he was just hanging out and being so happy. And then right before we started, oh wait, hold on one second. This is playing the volume back at me, and that doesn't seem right. Hold on one moment. Woo. Okay, we are. Hello from Vermont. Hello. Are you going away? What are you doing? Okay, hold on. The sound is playing back at me, and that's going to make me nuts. Hold on. Let's see. Okay, hold on. Ooh, let's see. Leah is in West Yorkshire, England. Hello, Leah. Okay, hold on one second. Let's see. I am seeing if I can mute this. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'm testing. Let's see. Fuzzy in Idaho. Hello, Fuzzy. Let's see. Biloxi. Oh, Maddie is in Biloxi. Okay, now it's like playing double back. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can fix this really quick. So I'm going to switch the screen. Okay, so let's see if that's fixed. Hopefully it is. Let me know. I'm not hearing it anymore, which is thank goodness. And let me know if it sounds good to you. Let's see. Christine says, hello, Christine. Hello from Alexandria, Virginia. Let me go back in here. See, Victoria from the UK. Hello, Jessica White is here. And let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay, thank goodness. I get so excited about these things. And then when some sort of weird little thing happens, it causes me to panic a little bit. And I like how you've set up shop now. So, like I was saying, he was up here playing with me and he was being so sweet. And then, like a second before this started, he jumped down. And so I manipulated him back up here with like a little toy. And so now he's obsessed with that. Okay, perfect. And let's see. Happy New Year from Wilton, Connecticut. Hello, Nicole. Okay, can you twirl for us so we can see your beautiful Lisa? I can't promise that I so I love this dress. It's vintage. And I'm gonna try to not set myself on fire. But isn't that fun? Okay. Who has taken my seat? Can I come back? Wait, I don't want to squish you. Okay. Hello. Okay. We have so many fun things to chat about in this one. And I've made my little list. Okay. Hello from Houston, Texas. Hello, Mel's. Okay, where do I begin? Oh, are your shoes vintage? They are vintage reproductions. And just slip my shoe off really quick. They're really cute and not very comfortable. There's a shoe company that I love that does vintage shoes, American Duchess, and they make the most comfortable vintage shoes that are also really beautiful. But these are some other brand. Between the sound going, me twirling, Poof over here snorting, although he seems to have calmed down, everything seems good. I love American Duchess. Aren't they amazing? I'm telling you right now, of any vintage shoe company, I can wear their shoes all day. I can wear them in the airport and walk as far as I need, and they're just perfect. So, let's see. Oh my gosh. Okay, so where do we begin? We have, let's make some hot chocolate first. I think that's the perfect way to start this out. Let's see. Have I tried memory shoes? I don't know. Maybe I think I've looked at their site. Um, oh, Midge. Midge is here. Hello, Midge. I love her. Okay, let's make some hot chocolate. So we've got hot chocolate in here. It's like almond milk and then like a Fortnum and Mason hot chocolate mix. And I'm just going to pour that in here. I have kind of a funny story to tell you about, and we have some marshmallows. And you know how like some people put just like a couple, like a reasonable little portion of marshmallows? I do the opposite of that because I'm a grown up and nobody can tell me I can't. It's one of those things where, you know, when you're a little kid, your parents don't give you too many marshmallows because they're mean or something. And now that I'm grown up, I can put in as many marshmallows as I like. And just so you know, I usually put in more than that, but I'm showing a little bit of restraint. Do you have Fortnum and Mason in the US? I don't think so. I order from them every Christmas, and I think it comes from overseas, but I'm not sure about that. Okay. Let's see. Jamie asked, what favorite item did you get for the holidays? That's a story. 1 second. Oh, that's really good. Oh my gosh. Poof, you are being so regal. Look at you. He is maybe one of the most fun, ridiculous little cats. I don't even think he's a cat. I think he's like a mogwai or something. He's like a strange little creature. He doesn't like other animals at all. He actually likes the captive a lot more than me. He spends a lot of his time with the captive. And then he comes and spends some time with me. But he doesn't, Archimedes, our little diabetic cat, he loves him and wants to spend all his time with him. And Poof like tolerates it to a certain degree. But if he gets too close, Poof jumps down and runs off. Let's see. Ooh, worked down the street from the massive London Fortnum and Mason. That would be amazing. I want to go back to London. I think it's so pretty. I've never felt like I've had enough time there to explore very much, and I would really, really like to do that. Oh, let's see. Wait, what's your favorite holiday movie? I love Bad Santa. I also love Christmas Vacation. Are you assaulting me? I think you might be. I'm trying to think what I love the holiday. I like all like the traditional ones. I wish I liked some of the older vintage ones, but I grew up watching them. My mom like loves the vintage Christmas movies. So I grew up watching so many of them. I think I've had my fill, which is terrible. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Die Hard. Die Hard is an amazing Christmas movie. There's another one, and I'm drawing a blank on it. I can't recall. I'm trying to think. we can talk about movies and TV in just a second. But first, okay, let's see. What kind of wood do you burn in your fireplaces? It is allegedly hardwood, but it goes so quickly. I'm suspicious about that. We just order it from the grocery store and it shows up in like a bundle. Um, Edward Scissorhands. So I've said before, Edward Scissorhands is probably one of my absolute favorite movies. And I've done the thing that you should never do with a favorite movie. And it's been decades, so it's too late. I've watched it so many times that I almost can't watch it anymore. Like you can ruin a movie for yourself. And I think I did that with that. I love it so much. I know every single line that's going to come out before it happens. I know everything about it. It's amazing. And the music is perfect. Crimson Peak is also beautiful. I love that. Didn't we do it? We did a Crimson Peak movie night. I think we have a guest. Let's see if we can get him up here. It's Archimedes. Don't be shocked. He's put on a little bit of Christmas weight and he's living his best life right now. He's definitely, and he loves this fish. This fish is like, that's been his favorite Christmas toy so far. Look at you. We started feeding him this like really, really good food, and his coat has grown so long, longer than it has ever been. Oh, look at you. I love him so much. He sleeps on my chest every night. And I wake up and he's staring at me, and he has a very angry expression on his face all the time. He usually wants food, but a little hamburger, look at you. I feel like if I start petting him too much, he'll run away. Let's see. Oh, speaking of white Christmas, the weather has been like really dreary and wet. So not cold enough to be snowy. And so this is not a white Christmas, it's a wet Christmas. And so it's just really kind of icky outside, which, it happens. And we've had plenty of really beautiful, like white Christmases here. So I'm very okay with the weather not being like ice cold outside. Ooh, do you guys, okay, so my favorite gift for Christmas, the captive kind of splurged and got me a dream sewing machine. It's like a Bernina. And I've been wanting one for like years and years. And he tried keeping it a secret and he like couldn't. So I knew it was going to be under the tree for like a month before Christmas. And so anyway, I got to open it. And so the first thing that I thought, I'm going to tell you, we're going to do a show and tell about something that's kind of funny. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, so I got this fancy sewing machine for Christmas. I was so excited to start fiddling with it, and it's really intimidating. I've only ever used like the kind of inexpensive ones that you just get from like Joann's that are usually like $100, $200. And so this is so much fancier that I don't know, I had to do all this research, like watching all these videos to like how to do this and how to do that. And so I figured what would be a great first project to tackle with this sewing machine in my downtime. So the very first thing I did was, right after Christmas, like my episode is done. I've done everything that I have to do. And so I very rarely ever have any time to just do nothing. And I never ever do nothing. Like either I'm working or I'm like going on like a little trip somewhere or I'm working and it's all I do. So I forced myself for 2 days after Christmas to not do anything and just sort of be around. And I almost lost my mind. I hate it. I'm not a person who can like sit and like, I just can't. It's like watching movies, watching TV shows, I like to do as a relaxation after having worked all day. But the idea of just sitting and like looking at the computer or looking at a book, or I just can't do it. So anyway, 2 days of rest and relaxation. And then I was like, well, what project could I tackle with the sewing machine that wouldn't really feel like work? And so I buy vintage dresses fairly often. I've have like a pretty big collection upstairs, and a decent amount of them don't fit for one reason or another. And there was one dress in particular that was kind of pricey, and it just totally did not fit. Um, and I've been thinking about doing like an episode where I probably restore 2 to 3 dresses that like basically showing how you edit a dress that doesn't fit. Either it's too big and you need to bring it in, which is the easiest, or it's too small, and that's when you have to get creative. So in my free time when I'm off, I did a project that when I was done, I was like, I should have recorded that. That should that could have been an episode. So if you would like to see an episode of me editing dresses, let me know. And like I said, the most exciting ones to do are the ones that are too small and you have to sort of improvise. So let me show you the dress first. I've got it right here. Oh, Archimedes, I did not mean to bonk you. Okay. So this is this dress, and I'm guessing from the 60s. I could be mistaken, but I think so. There's no real like tags or labels on it. And it's silk, and it's really pretty. And it had 2 kind of big problems. The first was I have a long torso, like probably longer than average. And so most vintage dresses, like the waist will be up here on me. And that's kind of like, sometimes I can correct that with a belt if it's long enough. But in this case, it was way too short here. And then the back was too small. It was for like a 22-inch waist or something like that. So I was like, this isn't really going to work. And I didn't know what to do. So yesterday, the day before yesterday, I was feeling creative and I dismantled the whole dress, took it all apart. And then I coffee dyed some fabric to match it as closely as I possibly could, which, by the way, if you're ever going to dye something, coffee is the way to go because tea tends to dye things kind of pinkish. Now, obviously, that's going to depend on what tea you're using. This is kind of an episode right now. But anyway, coffee is like kind of perfect for dyeing things if you want a really aged brown color. So I dyed some fabric. And then I got out some paints and I just started trying to replicate the pattern as much as I could and just kind of like slopping it around and being a little silly with it. And so on my day off, I was painting a big old swatch of fabric and then I sewed it all back together. And so now that center panel is all just hand painted. You can, I know you guys can't zoom in. And then on the back, I undid the zipper completely and removed it. And then I just did this panel in the back. And so once it's on, it fits perfectly now. It is like one of my favorite dresses. It's so pretty. And it looks perfect. So in the comments, let me know if you would like to see an episode where like I said, I've got a whole bunch of dresses that don't fit. If you'd be interested in seeing that, I can make an episode of it. Let's see. Do you have any questions while I have a little sip of chocolate? Let's see. I would love to see recreate your favorite skirt dress. I like that idea. Put it on now. That would be a different kind of live stream, and I don't have a, what is that? What's the fans only? This isn't that. This is a hot cocoa live stream. Okay. Please tell us your favorite hot cocoa recipe. Somebody in the comments for this mentioned some coffee recipe and they put a link, and I went to the recipe and looked at it and it looked really good. So that's something I want to try. Let's see, can we see a favorite ornament from the tree behind you? I think you can see it. Look at this. It was in the little video clip that I posted. Um, this is a patron sent this, an artist, and her work is amazing. And I love this one particular little spooky. I showed him in last month's live stream where I went through all of those incredible dolls, which, by the way, so I didn't have time to this last month because all sorts of crazy stuff happened. But I need to actually photograph all of those incredible dolls that showed up. And I'm going to be doing like a fun little post video thing. So look out for that. That should be coming out in January, but don't murder me if it takes a little bit longer. Let's see. Was the vintage music you used from the last video from a record that you have? No, I want that record. It's like my favorite. Who is he? My gosh. I'm really bad at like recalling names like off the top. He's just about my most favorite. It's not Bernard Herrmann. It's right on the tip of my tongue. That's gonna make me crazy. He did Midnight, the Stars and You, Henry Hall. So Henry Hall, and then he has like the three sisters involved. Anyway, he does Lullaby of the Leaves, which is, I think, my very favorite song. And he does a bunch of other really kind of fun, spooky sounding things. Let's see. How do you organize your sewing room? And I don't. Everything's a mess right now. I actually don't have a sewing room at the moment. And there is a room up in the attic that I want to completely sort of make over and get into like really great working shape to do sewing episodes. But we have to have like the roof fixed on like, because there's a leak in the room and it needs to be all patched up before I actually start like painting and doing fun stuff in there. Let's see. Will you be releasing any other wallpapers in the upcoming new year? Okay, so let's talk about wallpapers. I'm still waiting for my order. I think it's done. I think they're on Christmas break, and so I've messaged them. The wallpapers that we created, I think, are finished and are going to actually be shipping out pretty quick here. So I'm so excited about that. Will I be doing more? I think so, but it was also so much of a headache to sort of, hold on, I've got like a poof hair. I don't know is the answer. Like I might try one more time with like the wallpaper that's going to go in the billiard room, which was like the mermaid one, but it kind of turned into like a big headache and was really frustrating to sort of, because whenever you involve some other company or somebody else and things don't happen in like a timeline that works for you, I get really like frantic and frustrated if something is happening somewhere else and it's making me look terrible. And so that just kind of like, I don't know, it was an experiment, and we'll see how it goes with this other one, and I'll probably make a better assessment from that. Please make more color options for your wallpaper. I would try to. Let's see, maybe creating that workspace can be featured in a video. I think that's a great idea. That is something I plan on doing once I start actually setting up a sewing room. Let's see, is the bust on the mantle now? Is it a lamp? It's a candle. Heretic Perfume. They do perfumes and candles. It's one of my absolute favorite companies out there. And they have this really spooky weeping bust candle. And she actually like cries tears of wax and they start building up. It's beautiful. Let's see. I would love to see, I would like to see you do your own rendition of the wire stone trees. I don't know what that is at all. I'm going to have to look that up. Okay, let's see. What does the candle smell like? It's actually an unscented candle. And I think there's a reason for that. So normally the candles you buy from this company they come in like jars where they can just melt down. And I think if you were to build a sculpture out of a scented candle, the perfume, like the oils in the perfume, would probably cause it to sag and not keep its shape. So it's not scented. And I'm assuming that's the reason why. Oh, hello. Love him so much. You know, when we we moved in here and I was like, we have a big house. Let's get another cat. And I went and I picked him out, and I picked him out because he was the saddest, like most like on death's door looking cat that they had. And I had no idea that he was going to come here and sort of come back alive and end up being just the sweetest cat. And now he's been here long enough. It's over like 3.5 years, maybe not quite that long. Um, and he's like, I love him so much. And I don't think he likes me that much. He loves the animals, and he kind of has like limited interest in people. Um, except right now. But anyway, I love him. He's just turned into one of my favorite little kitties. And I love how beefy he is. I know it's not good for them to get so big, but like I can't help how I feel. And I have, since I was little, been obsessed with like beefy cats or pets or things that can like hardly move. I just, the heart wants what it wants. And that's just something I've been in love with forever. But that said, I do try to limit his food, and he seems to sneak around. Let's see, Gunship has a new album, and it is amazing. It's one of my very favorites. Let's see, how do you clean your interior with all of the cat hair? All the time and never, like, never enough. So you clean every day. We don't have a housekeeper or anything, so it's just a captive and myself. And he's usually way more on top of it than I am. But that's pretty much it. You just have to clean all the time. And even then, I end up with like poof hairs specifically, like in my eyelashes. And it's just the drawback to having cats, but they more than make up for it. So I don't mind the inconvenience. Let's see. Would you make a vintage long coat for the captive? Matt, I love that idea. You know what I was actually thinking of doing is, speaking of the captive, I was thinking of doing another oil painting episode where I actually do a portrait of him where he looks kind of like an old weathered sea captain. I just think that would be really fun because there's a room in the house that I think a portrait like that would be great. And I don't think I've ever tried painting like a man's face before. So I think I could do it pretty well. Making men look good in paintings is a lot easier than making women look good because they can look kind of like rough and sort of jagged, and it comes off as attractive. So I think it would be fun. Would you guys like to see an episode of that? Let's see, any big trips planned for 2024? Not at all. I'm actually so excited about all of the projects that I have sort of, I want to call them on the back burner, but ideas I have for this coming year that I don't think I've made too much space for any like vacations or trips, but I would like to. Let's see, like the painting of the Ghost and Mrs. Muir, Deb, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So if you haven't seen the Ghost and Mrs. Muir with Gene Tierney and Rex Harrison, watch it. It's one of my absolute favorites, and my mom actually turned me on to it. And it's incredible. It's so great. And there's a painting that's in that. Yes, that's actually kind of the inspiration for what this concept would be. Okay, yes to a painting. Yay. Oh, did he yawn? Look at this baby. Oh, look at you. He is so soft. I would actually say he's the softest cat I've ever pet. Okay, I'll have to send you a picture of my great-great-grandpa's portrait as a captain. Michelle, send me that. I want to see that. Okay, yes to a painting. Ooh, so let me see. Let me get another sip of hot chocolate. Oh my gosh. Carissa, thank you so much. So for the people in the top tier, I did a painting. It's a digital painting, and I'm going to post it. It's really weird, and I loved doing it. It took me maybe 3 months. No. It took me like a month to do. and it's really bizarre. It was kind of inspired by Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Lucy with the big headdress. Um, and it's kind of like a Frankenstein painting, and it's got a whole bunch of stuff going on, but it's very vampiric. Is that even a word? It should be if it isn't. Um, but it's really bizarre. And so anyway, and then the Christmas card, if you have not received your Christmas card and you're in that third and fourth tier, I have a story to tell you. So next year, I was talking about doing a spring card, but I did a poll and it seemed like a Halloween card was the most exciting. So I'm going to do a Halloween card next year, but this year I did a Christmas card. It was supposed to go out at the beginning of the month. And so what I do is I have a printer that I love. It's Boston Pro Print in Boston. Um, they print them all out. They send them to me. I personalize them, and then I package them up and I mail them back. And then they do like the final mailing, putting them in the envelopes and all of that. Well, USPS lost that package on the way to them. And it was this whole debacle of trying to like figure out where it went, because it takes like days to do all of the signing and things. And so that was, you know, doing this as a living is unbelievably cool and fun. And there's all sorts of wonderful aspects to it. And then with anything that's wonderful, there's going to be drawbacks. And having hiccups like that happen, again, where I don't even want to like say anything bad about USPS, because like that's probably like the most overwhelmed company on earth around December. So it just is what it is. But if yours hasn't arrived yet, which it should have, I am so sorry that those got delayed. There's just, it is what it is. But next year, I plan on sending it out the Halloween cards sooner. So it will hopefully eliminate the possibility of something like that happening. Let's see. Oh, well, that's not super stressful. It is. I tend to get really worked up about stuff, and then I completely stress myself out, and then it ends up all being okay. And all of that stress was for nothing, but I don't think I can help it. I think that's just how I'm hardwired. Let's see. Oh, Monique, thank you so much. Let's see. A painting with all of your pets. Emmy, I love that idea. Let me think on that. I know because Professor Poof loves the captive so much, if I did that captain painting, I think Poof would somehow be incorporated into it. They are like best buddies. Every night they like lay together. He just loves him so much. Okay, let's see. Oh, let me look at my phone for things to share with you. Let's see. Okay. Do you guys want to know a really, oh wait, I love your lipstick. Thank you so much. It's actually, let's see if I can find it. It's in my purse. It's Trixie Mattel's, and it's called Red Scare. I think she like teamed up with Katya. It is the most incredible red color. I just love it. It makes your teeth look like really white. It's awesome. I don't know if it's still for sale, but it was incredible. Okay. So let's see. Books. I listen to audiobooks, obviously, like while I work. And whatchamacallit, I've listened to all of like the true crime, and I feel like I like sort of ran out, and I was like, what kind of fiction would I want to listen to? And so like Interstellar, Prometheus, anything sci-fi with kind of so sort of slightly realistic sci-fi with like a scary element is my absolute favorite genre of all genres ever. Like whenever a movie comes out that either has to do with the end of the world, I love those. And they have to show the end of the world happening, like things kind of falling apart. That's my favorite part. Like in The Last of Us, that opening thing is horribly sad, but it's incredible. And so The number one I like is space. Anything space exploration that feels real. And so there's a book that I listened to that's so good. It's called Project Hail Mary. I'm not going to say anything about it. If you want to treat yourself to a really exciting story, it's called Project Hail Mary. Let me see if I can see who the author of that is, because I don't even know. Oh, wait. Now I'm listening to another one called The Man in the Rockefeller Suit by Mark Seal. And it's about this guy who just goes around like pretending to be whatever he wants to be, basically. Okay. Project Hail Mary is by Andy Weir, and that's Weir. You should listen to it. It's wonderful. Let's see. Have I read any of the Andromeda Strain? Oh, you know what? I did read that book, and it didn't blow my mind. Maybe because I think I knew too much about it going in. I think that affects things. So that's why I don't say anything about Project Hail Mary. If you just don't know anything about it, that's the better way to like go into it. Let's see. He wrote The Martian. Yes, which is, by the way, if you've forgotten about The Martian with Matt Damon and you just want to watch an incredible movie, that's an incredible movie. Event Horizon is incredible. Is Event Horizon a book? Or is it just a movie? Let's see. Have you seen the show Avenue 5? No. Okay, so now let's talk about TV shows. And the one that I can't get enough of, I hate to say this word, but I think I'm like obsessed with it. It's the latest season of Fargo. I always thought the first season was my absolute favorite, and I've watched that first season multiple times, and they're all good. But this latest season has got Juno Temple and Jennifer Jason Leigh. It's so good. It's so good. I kind of don't have enough nice things. I love it so much. I've been like rewatching the entire season every time the new episode comes out on Wednesday, leading up to it. Like the day before, I'll watch all of the episodes that have come out before, just because it's right. I don't want to say anything in case you haven't seen it, but there's a character that's just kind of like the character I like. I like when unsuspecting people are self-reliant and you wouldn't expect that. So I love it so much. I wish I can do a really good Minnesota accent, but like I said, I think I only do an offensive. I was just telling the captive like an hour ago. I was like, I think we need to actually plan a trip to Minnesota and like see if people actually talk like this, because I'm basing all of my Minnesota information off of Fargo and the movie Drop Dead Gorgeous, which I don't know about that. Oh, new couch? Yes, it is. This has actually been sitting in the other room. It's a super old antique. It needs to be completely reworked because it's creaky, uncomfortable, and it really just could be made to be so much nicer. So I do plan on doing that. They do talk like that. Very sweet. Ooh. I would love it if they did. I think it is so fun. It's one of my favorite accents. Okay. What is your favorite Guillermo del Toro? Guillermo del Toro. I'm trying to think. Pan's Labyrinth. I think that's like, it's so good. It's in another language. You don't even have to know the subtitles, I think. If you just watch it, it's so moving. So I would say that, but I did like his scary stories that he did. Okay. Hannibal. I don't think I've listened to that one or watched that. Your snake couch was one of my favorite episodes. Oh, thank you. I love that snake couch. It's it's up in the morning room. I have so many projects I'm so excited about this year. The way this works is I have a bunch of plans, and then obviously everything takes longer than I anticipate. So I'm rarely able to pull off all of the things that I want to every given year. But let's just talk about this past year, because I was thinking of making some sort of like a recap video to just sort of go over everything that we've made this year so far. because there's like a ton. We did gloves. We did a whole vanity makeover. We did a big, huge Gothic canopy bed, which you guys haven't even seen the drapery episodes for. Those are going to be coming, I think, next month and the following month because it's 2 episodes. And I'm going to go into all of the details about how you do really gorgeous like draperies. Um, we did that. We finished the room. We did all the wallpaper. I did that painting of my mom. I mean, what else? And then the peppermint bark tree, the witch's broom, the witch's costume. It's kind of like I was sort of feeling a little bit maybe just like a week ago, and I was like, did I even get anything done this year other than that room? And then I go back and I like look through the episodes, and it's like, oh, oh, there's like a lot more. There's a ton here that I have like completely forgotten about. I don't know why I keep forgetting about the witch's broom. It's probably one of my favorites. Um, but I'm trying to see. Poker Face is so amazing. I don't know what that is. Is that a movie or a show? Let's see. Do you think the house will ever be finished to you, or you'll be just like Sarah Winchester working at it forever? I don't want to say it'll ever be finished because there's always going to be things that could be done. But I'm hoping in the next couple years to actually have all of the main rooms sort of done. The roof will be done this coming year. We're going to have asbestos removed from the basement. The kitchen is going to get done. I think the kitchen might get pushed out to the following year, but I'm just going to actually start tackling some of these main rooms, which I haven't even done this room. So this room is really beautiful. I haven't even done what I'm going to do in here, and it's going to be incredible. Um, and I have the most fun idea on earth for the main entry hall. So you know, with like all of these old Victorian houses, if you enter them and there's like a busy wallpaper on the wall, it kind of like, I don't want to say smacks you in the face, but it kind of like eats you alive when you walk in. It's such a big amount of space that if you have a small repetitive pattern, I tend not to think I don't like it very much. And now that's not always true. I have seen ones that I love, but I have an idea for actually hand painting something that's really kind of Art Nouveau looking all over the entire space and having like a color transition happen from downstairs to upstairs. And so that's kind of the plan that I have. I don't know when I'll get to that, but that is, so it's not going to be wallpaper in the main entry room. It's going to be something painted and incredible. So look forward to that. Let's see. Oh, will you ever do a virtual tour for us? So, well, I don't know what a virtual tour, you mean like where you can set up a bunch of cameras and people can walk through? I don't tend to like those, so I don't know about that. But I will be doing another kind of walkthrough and a video sort of showcasing the whole house once it gets to a place where I feel like it's close to how I want it to look. And then you can watch that first video I did and see the comparisons. It should be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. Oh, let me check my phone and make sure I talked about all of the things that I wanted to chat about. So, like I said, I've been obsessed with Fargo. And so when I don't have an episode of Fargo to watch, I'm like, what am I going to watch now? So I went back and I watched some of my favorite Black Mirror episodes. And that was my very favorite one ever is San Junipero. And then the second one is Hang the DJ, which is amazing. So if you don't know what to watch tonight, those are both really, really great. Let's see. Would you like to see our houses? I would absolutely love that. So we had a contest where somebody submitted contest ideas for the future. And this coming year, I do plan on doing a contest where you're kind of given an assignment where you take a photo, and it could be of yourself, of one of your pets, and you set the scene, you do all of that. And basically we'll have to do like I'll show you guys everything that's submitted. And that way you guys all make an incredible picture for yourselves. And then in addition to that, we get to see each other's houses or whatever it is that somebody wants to show. Let's see. Oh, Sherry, thank you so much. I love this dress. It is vintage and it's velvet, so it doesn't have a lot of movement to it, but it's really pretty and comfortable. So let's see. Black Mirror is tough to watch. There's like some Black Mirror episodes that are not my favorite, but it's still, I love that show. Okay, hold on. Oh, let me give you a really great tip that I didn't talk about in the episode. So we did the peppermint bark tree, which by the way, we like put that up on a bookcase in here where no cat or anything could get to it. It was so pretty, I didn't want to destroy it. And it's food, so I mean, you can't keep it, but I don't know. I stuck it up there and we're going to see what happens. So I'll check in with it and I'll show you guys what it looks like after a while. But anyway, there was a really helpful tip that I learned because I don't really usually show when things go like cataclysmically wrong, and they do often. And in this last one, I actually created a whole other tree, the first one, and it collapsed. And it's because I used like big, like sturdy candy canes, you know, the kind that like, it's like a staff of candy cane. Don't use those. You only want to use the little skinny ones because the big ones, it's almost like glass. And so if they fracture somewhere, you lose all of your support that you had at any given point, and it's very like liable to break somewhere. But if you have a ton of little like tendons, basically, if you've ever like cut off somebody's head, you know that it's really difficult to do. There's all of these little strands, as opposed to somebody just made of glass and it just pops right off. So something to keep in mind if you do tackle that yourself. Let's see. Oh, let me get another little bit of hot chocolate. Are there any ornaments on your tree from your childhood? Not on this tree. I did this tree very quickly. I wasn't even sure I was going to have time to, but we had this tree show up and then I just sort of put it together as quickly as possible. And I ended up having like a really beautiful Christmas. It was so calm and beautiful, and the pets were all so happy. Gertie loves presents, and so we always get tons of like stuffed animals or silly things and wrap them up so she gets to open a bunch of presents. It's one of her favorite things. It's just about the sweetest. Oh, maybe you can coat the tree in resin. Maybe. I'm just going to leave it and see what happens. I do like resin. Ooh, so this coming year, let's see, what do I want to get into? I want to play around with some pottery. I want to get a kiln and see what I can do on that front. I now have this awesome sewing machine, so I will be doing more sewing episodes. And I loved doing the tree, the candy cane tree, so I would love to do more baking episodes. Just basically, you're going to see whole lots of new things. And I'm actually, I would say the most excited maybe for the pottery because that's something I've never really experimented with too much. And I feel like you get to make kind of permanent sort of things if you figure that out and you do it well. So we'll see about that. Do you guys have any questions before we go? And I will try to address whatever I can while I get a little sip. And if you've asked a question and I didn't like see it, you can always just copy and paste it. Let's see. We need an episode a week from you. If I were to do that, the episodes would be garbage and I would be just like this frazzled. It would kill me if I tried to do that. I actually, if I could redo the formatting for how I do Patreon altogether, I think I would have initially set it up so there was an episode every other month. So that would give me so much more time to do so many more things because personally, I love the episodes. And if I had more time, they could be even like wilder and better. So speeding up the process is not is not something I want to try tackling. Let's see. Would you post a blooper reel sometime? Carissa, I love that idea. That's actually, and they're usually embarrassing though, so I'm not sure about that. Let's see, have you ever tried felting? I don't think I have. And I would really like to because it looks so fun. I see people do like felted like remembrance sculptures of their like pets, and I think those are just incredible. Let's see. Any thoughts on writing a new book? I don't know, but I know that I've got plenty of material to fill up a new book if I were to do that. Okay, yes to the bloopers. Okay. I will look into that and see what I can come up with. Oof. Let's see. Would you like to do a trap? Would you guys like to see? I did a traveling episode with my mom when we went on a trip. And so the next trip I go on, I would like to also film that and make an episode of that because making an episode of a vacation is really fun because you get to relive the vacation whenever you see it. And if I do that, it would probably be like a public episode, just sort of like an extra. So you guys would still get like a crafting episode that month. And then in addition to that, you would get to see like whatever the trip was. Let's see. I have not been drinking this enough. Let's see. Do you have a word for 2024? Budgeting. That's my goal. That's my goal this year. It's to be a little more frugal and be like better about saving. So that's my plan for this coming year. Oh, and a hair episode. See, I'm going to die before I finish like all of these episodes. I'll be on my deathbed and I'll be like doing something. I don't know what it'll be. Let's see. Hold on. Desiree, thank you. Oh, that was so nice. Let's see. I have a TikTok account. I'm really bad about keeping up with it though. So that is something I do want to make some more like maybe like every month, I do an episode for you guys, but I don't put enough out on social media and I need to like probably work on that. So I might just make little trailery previews of every episode that we do and try to get more of those out. Making cookies for my deathbed, Midge, I would do that in a heartbeat. I think the people at the hospital would like it. I'm joking when I say a hospital. I would really like to die in my own house, in my own bed. But we'll see how that works out. I don't think you always get to choose. Ooh, a contest for fan-created ornaments. I love that idea. I will say that we did this last contest and I feel kind of guilty that like you guys created awesome things and then gave them to me. And I feel better if I'm giving things to you. So maybe if we do contests, it'll be something you keep for yourself and maybe just like submit a photo of or something like that. And that way you guys get to keep like basically the fruits of your hard work. Which, by the way, all of those awesome voodoo dolls, I thought I was going to be decorating one room with them, but there's so many that I think I'm actually going to be like peppering them all throughout the house, hidden in little fun places. And so that's kind of the plan with those. Let's see. Captain needs to tend the fire. My fire died. Well, I'm going to take that as a sign. And I can't look at you. He just showed up and like, so this is every night. He loves it when I do like a tent with the blankets because he gets to go and hide under there for a while. And then every morning I wake up and he's just sitting on my chest, like leering at me with like this angry expression. It's usually because he wants breakfast, but I like to believe it's because he loves me. So anyhow, I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've had a total blast. Thank you so much for your support this last year. We have so many fun projects coming this year. I would actually say I'm the most excited for this coming year over any other year so far. So we'll see if they all work out. Cross our fingers and take care of yourselves and have very happy New Year's.